Hello, привет. My name is Madison Raub. I am a returned missionary from the Vladivostok mission in Russia. I returned about 2 years ago. I miss it like crazy. And today I have the opportunity to help this amazing foundation, this YouTube channel, to be able to talk a little bit about the people in Russia and what I miss about them. Like I said, I served in Vladivostok. It's the Far Eastern Asian mission. Now it's currently the Novosibirsk mission. I'm so excited for the expansion and for the different changes that the people are having there. I had an opportunity to stop into South Korea a couple times on visa trips, go on the Trans-Siberian Railroad over to Mongolia. I served in Artyom, which is right outside Vladivostok. I served in Khabarovsk, and I served in Angarsk, and on the island of Sakhalin. That's right by Japan. And there's a whole lot of snow there if you ever get to go there. Beautiful island. My first topic I want to talk a little bit about was the people. A lot of people, they do not understand Russians, which that's a pretty obvious statement unless you are one or live there. But one of the hardest things for me when I returned home was when I would tell them where I served, people would say like, how are the people? How are the people? Were they grumpy because they don't smile? Things like that. And I will defend a Russian to the death that they are one of the most loving people I've ever met. One of the days when I was serving on the island of Sakhalin, one of the members told me, just to introduce myself in case you aren't familiar, I was a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or Mormons, mostly known as. So I lived in Russia for 1.5 years, and I chose to serve a mission, and I was called by our prophet to serve there. But one of the areas that I was called to serve in was Sakhalin on the island, and they told me that Americans are like peaches, where they look very soft and juicy on the outside, and on the inside they're just a cold pit. And at the time, I felt a little bad when they told me, but I wanted to hear them out. And they said, a Russian is like an orange, where our whole circumference is that we are built with a tough skin. We know how to survive a lot of different weather elements or life elements or things that we've gone through with our government and different things like that. But once you peel us open, we're sweeter than anything you could ever taste. And we're pure through and through, in the sense of just sweetness and love. And that was something that I will attest to as probably one of the truest statements I ever heard on the streets. I understand it's not necessarily every American is not a cold pit, but I learned a lot about how in America we are really big with making everybody happy. And Russians don't care. They don't need to make everybody happy. They love who they love. And when they love their family and their friends, you are there with them forever. You are eternal family. And I miss that side of my family so much. I genuinely feel like a part of my family is there. I have my side here, and I have my family that I knew before this life. And I had the most amazing opportunity to meet there. I feel like they're my brothers and sisters. I feel like I have my own Russian parents, my own Russian grandparents, and cousins and people that I met on the streets who were my friends. They accepted me so much as soon as they could know that they could trust me, which I appreciated a lot. The people are very straightforward, and I also love that. Kind of grew up with that a little bit in my family. My family's Native American and Greek. And one of the favorite things that I loved was a little babushka, a little grandma on the street one day told me that you are a bad friend because you tell your companion that her hair looks nice because it looks bad. And she basically explained to me that if you really love somebody, you need to tell them the truth, that it doesn't help them in life if you continue to coddle them and lie to them. Of course, that can be up for controversy on what your opinion is, but I really appreciated that they told me the truth, and I knew how genuine it was when they complimented me or when they told me that I was doing a good job. It was real, and I loved that about them. They go out walking all the time in blizzards, and the cold is no stranger to them. They always tell you on the streets that it's not cold, you just don't know how to dress like a Russian, which I 100% agree. This is a Russian scarf from there, and they are so warm, and they teach you how to dress, and you're fine. You're fine wherever you go. You could be, I was in an area right in the middle of Siberia, and negative 40s, and it wasn't, you just knew how to dress better. You dress like the Russians. Especially in one of my other areas, there was a freezing cold wind chill, and I've never thought that my feet were going to freeze and fall off until I learned to just dress better like them. What else about the people? They for entertainment, they go walking and they talk. They're very social. They don't really waste too much time on just sitting home and kind of doing nothing. They are either doing something that has a purpose at home, or they're out walking with their friends just in the fresh air. They love the fresh air. Even their tiny little babies, they wrap up their little newborn babies in like a little Eskimo cape kind of thing, and they put them in strollers that have skis on them during the winter, and they go walking with their brand new babies in the middle of the winter, and I love it. They are fine. Like, that, obviously they don't have any problems with that. I think that's something that we're just scared of knowing how to dress children correctly, but they know how to do it, and their kids are out walking the streets, right after their couple months after they're born. They stay inside for about 6 months strictly, and then even in like I said, a crazy blizzard where they're just getting pounded on with snow, they're walking around with their ski strollers that are super cute. So that's kind of my little tidbit about the people. They are so funny. Some of their idioms are some of the best things ever. They taught me a lot of little phrases that are hilarious. They love to share their history. Anytime you get on a bus or anything, if you talk to a grandma or anybody that's older, they will tell you the entire history of Russia. And you learn to respect what they've been through, because it's insane what they have dealt with under communism and the different things. And they're strong people. I think sometimes we forget, with all the political nature of what's going on in the world, that there are millions of people who are suffering and struggling from what's going on in the world, and they know how to do it. They are strong. They know how to sacrifice. They know how to work in a way of keeping themselves living. And I appreciate that more out of anything from those people than anyone I've ever met. And one of my favorite things that I'll end with on the people is, the second you get on a bus, if a grandma gets on, you get up. I love that, how they treat their elderly. Like I said, you'll be sitting on a bus and one grandma will walk on, and 5 and 6 men or women or anybody, they all stand up and they just walk the grandma over. Everybody's older person is their grandma. Like, you meet anybody and they're just a babushki, they're just your grandma. And they take care of you like grandmas. One of my mission president's wives actually told me that if you ever get in trouble, go find the grandmas, because people won't attack them. You can hide behind a grandma, and the grandma will just give them a good, nice chewing out, and they'll walk away. So the grandmas are kind of the protectors. And when you ask them how old they are, most of the time you don't even have to ask them how old they are. They say it with pride. It's a very good thing to say that I am 86 and still living, and I love it. They don't. Here we kind of say like, oh, I'm getting old. There it's like, it's such a pride. It's such an honor to get old and have more wisdom given to you and respected and things like that. You don't argue with a grandma. So, yeah, I love the Russian people.